La-Z-Boy just posted better than expected earnings, getting a boost from strong Labor Day holiday sales. Although management still flagged some headwinds, including continued spending softness and some dampened demand thanks to low housing turnover. Of course, we also have looming tariffs potentially as well. Here to talk about it all in an exclusive interview is La-Z-Boy CEO Melinda Whittington. Melinda, welcome back.
Thank you. Good to see you.
I thought that was interesting about kind of consumer lumpiness. I shouldn't say lumpy to a furniture company, but what are you guys picking up on?
Yeah, lumpy, choppy, you name it, right? Our industry, as you noted, really is driven at its best by when there's a lot of housing transactions, when people are moving, when people are buying houses. And so it's been challenging for the last couple of years. As a company, we've been able to still outperform the industry, though. And this year we are growing compared to last year just by really reaching out with that consumer. I think until we start to see mortgage rates, come down and more housing availability, housing affordability, a big tailwind for the industry, it will come, but it's going to be a while. So in the meanwhile, our focus is really on outperforming and taking share, given, the products that we have and the brands we have.
A lot of the analysts we speak with who cover, all parts of the housing and building materials industry are waiting for this inflection point, and they think maybe if we finally get rates down on the 10-year, maybe that'll do it. Maybe there's some kind of new plan. And I don't know what is going to bring us to an inflection point in housing.
Yeah, we've given up on the crystal ball as well. But we do know there's a housing shortage out there, and we do know eventually people are going to start moving again. And again, what we're doing is making sure that we're messaging to the consumer with high quality products so that where there is an interested consumer, we can inspire them and get them involved in the process. And, we're back to growth, even in a pretty tough industry.
How would you say your sourcing mix has changed today versus the first Trump administration, or has it? How much of the stuff comes from China? How much might be elsewhere in Asia, India? How much is made in the U.S.?
Yeah, so it's important to note, first of all, for La-Z-Boy, the vast majority of our consumers are North American and specifically U.S., about 90%. And the vast majority of our products are manufactured here in North America and primarily in the United States. So compared to our competition, we're actually relatively well positioned. Now, there's no doubt all supply chains are sourced globally. And, that includes China, certainly for, woven materials and leathers that are upholstered fabrics. But our industry and our company in particular have really done a lot of work to change that pretty dramatically over the last 10 years and even the last 2 years to really have a more broad global sourcing base. The majority of our products, again, are finished in the United States and or at least North America. It's fabrics and some items like that the raw material, a component part, is still coming out of China. More broadly, Vietnam is doing a lot of work in furniture and cut and sew. We do a lot of our work in Mexico. So it's a much broader base than it was, say, 5-10 years ago, for sure.
It's so interesting, though, because even you move to a place like Mexico, you could still encounter problems depending on what happens the next few years. So, Melinda, thanks for joining us. It's always good to check in with you and hope to see you again soon.
Good to see you.
Melinda Whittington is the CEO of La-Z-Boy.